And today, in the future of everything, you know when we don't know something and we say, oh, I'll just Google it. It's something that we say every day on the regular without a second thought. But if you would have heard yourself saying that like 20 years ago, you probably would have thought it sounded crazy. Google is a weird word. And recently I was on a college campus and heard some students say, oh, I'll just GPT it. Yeah, you know where this is going. We are in the middle of an AI arms race that heats up more and more every day. And now Google is unveiling so many new AI features, your head's going to spin, all using one phrase over and over. Take a listen.
The shift with AI is as big as they come.
We can see the true potential of AI as a collaborator.
A personalized and private AI model using our AI platform, Vertex AI.
You get the idea. So what do these fancy features look like? There is an AI upgrade to Google Maps, a real-time weather and traffic conditions presented all in a 3D world, and then something called a universal translator in case you're watching a video in a language you don't understand. And check out what it looks like.
What many college students don't realize is that knowing when to ask for help and then following through on using helpful resources is actually a hallmark of becoming a productive adult.
Muchos universitarios no comprenden que saber cuándo pedir ayuda y usar recursos útiles es en realidad una clave para convertirse en un adulto productivo.
But did you see her mouth was moving in the same way on the second video? All that shiny stuff does not come without a warning, though. In fact, there are some disclaimers all over the website for Google's chatbot Bard. The word experiment is the first thing you see at the top of the page. And one of the biggest differences between OpenAI and Google's Bard is that most people can't use GPT to search the internet in real time. GPT was cut off back in 2021. Bard, however, is fully dialed into the internet for everyone. With us now is Justin Burr. He's a technology expert from Google itself. Justin, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. Welcome to the future of everything. A lot of people have been using GPT, and they're excited about finally having AI connected straight to the internet. And then you got people wondering if real-time access as a beta to the internet from Google is moving too fast. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's an exciting time for sure. And we've integrated generative AI experiences now into search, as you just mentioned. So think of going to Google search and having more of an intuitive and natural conversation, just like you would be doing with your best friend if your best friend happened to know all of the information that's out on the open internet. And you've heard this phrase quite a bit. We're moving boldly, but we're moving responsibly. We introduced our AI principles back in 2018. We've been slow playing a lot of this generative AI release into the public because we want to get it right. And so, yeah, things are moving quickly in the world of AI, but we're going slow and we're being responsible with how we do it.
Another pretty interesting announcement is this idea of watermarking. This is a big deal because there's a lot of concern about knowing what is real and what is AI generated. What is watermarking and how are you guys building these safeguards?
Yeah, we're going to do a watermark. We're also going to do with metadata as well, because as you mentioned, there can be a proliferation of misinformation, and we're building this generative AI content. And sometimes it's difficult to tell what's actually a real photo and what's been generated by AI. So we're going to have watermarking and we're going to have metadata attached to that generative AI that generative AI content so that people can know what is real and what isn't, because we need to inform the public in that way.
And I've been using Bard a lot. I've been using ChatGPT a lot to help kind of research things. So I got to say, we asked Bard about how AI will play into the controversy of several states accusing Google of antitrust practices. So I want to read you a part of the response from your AI chatbot, because I got to give it to you. It did not seem to hold back very much. It said, quote, AI could be used by Google to further its monopoly power in the tech industry, or it could be used to level the playing field and give smaller companies a chance to compete. Okay, so if those two scenarios are two ends of the spectrum, where do you think Google lands?
Yeah, it's a good question, and thanks, Bard, for that. Well, Bard is an experiment, and it'll get better with time. But I do like that answer. I mean, it's balanced. It lets the individual kind of learn from what the information is being surfaced, and they can come up with their own takeaway. So it's not coming up with a very hard stance, and it's allowing the individual to do what they want with that information.
Time for another question. Out of all these features, what's the new AI tool here that you think might be the next, like, Google verb?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the generative AI stuff in search is great. It's a great way to have a natural conversation with folks. I do think maybe with the Bard experience, it's can be something, hey, just Bard it. But I also think that the generative AI stuff across all of our different products in workspace, across translation, it's going to be something that is proliferating across all the products to make it more helpful. So it might not become a verb, but it's definitely going to have a lot of benefit in your daily life.
Okay, so just as we were doing that, sorry, had to do it one more time. Ask Bard, what are the dangers of connecting Bard to the internet in real time and beta testing to everyone? It gave me a few different answers here, but one was the potential for Bard to be used to spread misinformation and disinformation. I mean, what are the safeguards that are going into effect? A lot of people would say, like, Google is the internet these days, and now to see AI infused in this type of search result, like what safeguards are we talking about?
So to take a step back for a second, Bard is a standalone experiment. That is not integrated in search just yet. We've integrated some generative AI capabilities through search labs. So this is a waitlisted only type of experiment right now within labs. And if you go to Google, you can go to the top right corner, click on the beaker, and then join the waitlist. So we're moving slow with this, and we're getting it out there in a responsible way. And we need to get it out there, though, because we can't innovate in a vacuum. You need to have user feedback. You need to get these tools out in the community and see how people are using it, because we can't do this without that type of user feedback. So that's essential in this moving forward.
So right here, do I give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
That's up to you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.